Hi, I'm Cassie Joy Garcia of Fed and Fit, and today we are talking about how to make 3 really easy, delicious dinners using shredded chicken. This is a concept that I coined called Cook Once. I have 2 best-selling books about it, Cook Once Eat All Week and Cook Once Dinner Fix. You can find them everywhere books are sold. And the whole idea is that we prep our main component in advance and then use it across different meals. So today we're going to use this already cooked and shredded chicken to make crispy chicken tacos, cheesy, they're so delicious, chicken fried rice, and I'm going to give you all the tips on how to make the perfect fried rice that is crispy, not mushy, so yummy. And then the last dish we're going to make is one of our reader favorites. They're these island style bowls. It's this really delicious savory chicken with a pineapple salsa over fluffy white rice. You're going to love them. My whole family loves all 3 of these meals. Let's get to it. First up are these cheesy chicken tacos, and these are one of my family's favorite dinners. These tacos stay together. They hold their shape because they're cheesy and stuck. This is a great small child food. They're just like on cloud 9. They love taco night because their tacos hold together. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just spreading out my tortillas here on a sheet pan. I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees, and that's all we're gonna need. These only bake for 15 minutes because our chicken is already cooked. Comes together so fast. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna prep our tortillas. I've got some olive oil, and what I wanna do, these are just basic corn tortillas, nothing special. I'm gonna drizzle both sides with a little bit of olive oil, smear it around because that helps them get a little bit crispy in the oven. It's gonna give you the texture you want. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to make the most efficient, flavorful sauce you've ever seen. We're going to make this lime juice and chipotle sauce that's going to do 2 things. It's going to help season our chicken, and we're going to use it to make a dipping sauce, a creamy dipping sauce for these tacos later. So what I just poured into this measuring cup is some fresh lime juice. That was, hang on, about 1/3 of a cup of fresh lime juice. And to it, I'm going to add, these are called chipotles and adobo. So they're these little peppers that come in this can. They are very spicy. And I said that this is a great kid food. The recipe on the website, which is linked below, says to essentially take these peppers and blend it together with this sauce. But if you're feeding people who don't like really spicy food, what I recommend doing is just squeeze the sauce in the can into your lime juice and whisk that together. So skip the whole peppers and just add the extra sauce that's in there. Now I'm going to add cumin and sea salt in with this. And again, this is what we're going to use to season our very plain shredded chicken. Each of these 3 dinners, these shredded chicken dinners, call for about 1 pound of chicken, and what I like to do is if you're going to make all 3 of these, then you just need 2 rotisserie chickens. You're going to get everything you need from 2 rotisserie chickens to make all 3 of these full-size dinners that feed about 4 adults is about the size that each of these make. So I'm going to use about half of this chicken. This is obviously just 6 tacos. At home, I would be doing probably 2 sheet pans worth of this, but I'm just going to kind of show you 1 sheet pan to make it easy. I'm going to pour half of this delicious chipotle sauce with the lime juice and cumin over this chicken, just about half of it, and then use some pinchers to just toss it all together and mix it around. And this helps give our chicken filling a really good flavor. Now we're going to assemble our tacos. It's very simple and very fun. So I just have like a little pinch of shredded cheese. You can use, gosh, I've made these with cheddar, Monterey Jack, you name it. And I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle of cheese on half of each of these tortillas because we're gonna put them in the oven to essentially just melt for 5 minutes in a little bit. And then once they melt, open face, the cheese will be like glue, and then we can fold the other half over and it'll stick. And then we stick them back in the oven for 10 minutes to get just really nice and gooey and a little bit crispy. So I'm adding cheese first, and now I'm going to do a pinch of chicken on top of all of those pieces of cheese. And that's the primary protein in these tacos. So a pinch of chicken, and then when I'm done with this chicken, 1 more pinch of cheese, and then into the oven for 5 minutes at 350. Okay, tacos are out of the oven after its first 5 minutes, and what I'm going to do, you can see the cheese is already starting to be melty, is I'm just gonna use a spatula and flip up that other half on top, make our tacos, press it down so it's all mushed in a good way together, and then flip them over one time, stick it back in the oven for 10 minutes, and then they're done. All right, so while those tacos cook for the last 10 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and make our dipping sauce. So this is just, what is it, a half a cup of sour cream, and I'm going to pour in the rest of that chipotle, lime, cumin, salt mixture right on in there. Oh gosh. You might have extra of this sauce and you're not gonna be mad about it because it's so good. Once this is all mixed up, I'm gonna serve it with the tacos. I actually drizzle mine on. The next dish we're making is one of my favorites. We're making chicken fried rice, as easy as possible, but I have tricks for you. If you've ever tried to make chicken fried rice at home or fried rice at home, sometimes they can get a little mushy and sometimes the flavors are off, and I am gonna help you troubleshoot all of that. So the first trick of my sleeve is using day-old rice. Hang in here with me. And I'm actually gonna use brown rice today for this chicken dish, this chicken fried rice dish, because I just kind of like to mix up the nutrients that I'm putting on my family's table every once in a while. But I made this brown rice yesterday and I kept it in the refrigerator uncovered. And so it kind of dried out a little bit. It's a little crumbly. And what that actually helps do is it makes sure that when you have really good fried rice, all the little kernels are they stand on their own. They don't clump together necessarily, unless there's just a good amount of sauce. That's what we're after today. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good, because I wanna fry each little thing of rice kind of separately. So the first thing we're gonna do is I got a big skillet out. I'm going to add olive oil, and then I have some fresh ginger and some fresh garlic that I ground and minced. I'm gonna put that in, get it nice and fragrant, but you can definitely use granulated if you prefer, and all those swaps are in the recipe card. Okay, so into the pan, I'm adding just a little bit of olive oil, and then I have some minced ginger that I'm gonna put in here. Fresh ginger. You could definitely use granulated if you prefer, and some garlic, some minced garlic, also fresh, but you could also still use granulated. I've made it both ways. They're both delicious, but if you make it with the fresh stuff, it's just going to taste a little bit more fresh. And I figured I'd go all the way here for you today on this video, show you from scratch. So I'm just gonna toss this around until it gets kind of toasty. You're gonna start to smell that garlic and that ginger. It's gonna smell so good. And then we're gonna add the rice next. All right, so that garlic and ginger smells so good. Now, my next tip for getting perfect, not mushy fried rice is to use enough cooking fat. So next step, I'm adding this day-old rice into the skillet. Woo! Can you hear it popping? And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. I usually don't measure it when I'm at home. I just kind of add sesame oil until I feel like every grain of rice looks a little shiny. That's the whole point. That's how you make really good fried rice, is you want all the grains to just have a little bit of shine, and then we're going to, kind of like hash browns, like making hash browns. You know, if you're ever making skillet hash browns, you toss it around until everything's well coated, but then you leave it and you don't touch it for a minute because you want that first layer on the bottom to crisp a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna leave it alone for a couple minutes and then I'll toss it and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. All right, so while that rice fries, I'm gonna go ahead and fry our egg. I have made fried rice before where you kind of create a little well in the same pan that you're making your rice in and you fry the egg there, but sometimes that's just a little bit trickier to master. So I like, for the best results, just get out another skillet, and to it I'm adding just a little bit of sesame oil, and then I'm gonna crack an egg right into this little skillet over medium heat. And I like to just beat my egg right in the pan. But this is, you know, when you're eating fried rice, there's those little pieces of egg in there, scrambled egg. This is in my opinion, the best way to do it. So just very lightly stir it in this pan and then just kind of leave it. This is and we'll have all of our kitchen equipment linked below, but this little skillet is the best thing to cook eggs in. It's a green pan, it's nonstick ceramic. It is my favorite. Just a safer nonstick if you're looking for an alternative to Teflon. Okay. Our rice is looking Nice and crispy. I think we're ready to add the rest of the ingredients. So first up, we're going to add our soy sauce or tamari. Tamari is just a gluten-free soy sauce. I'm going to add the oyster sauce, which if you really want it to taste like classic fried rice, don't skip that. And then a little bit of fish sauce. A little bit goes a long way. And then stir it all up. Okay, so because we're doing this cook once style, which means that the meat that we're using is already done. It's already been cooked. I cooked it once, and now we're just kind of reheating it into this fabulous dinner. So my shredded chicken's already done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and add it right into the pan now. And again, you can make this shredded chicken from chicken breast and cook it in your Instant Pot, do really simple shredded chicken that way, or you could break apart a rotisserie chicken. The sky's the limit. And if you don't have pre-cooked shredded chicken, the recipe link below will walk you through the steps of how to cook your chicken in the skillet if you want to do it all on the same night. But the cook once way, that's the way to really save yourself some time. Chicken is really nice mixed in. Now I'm going to add about a cup of frozen peas and carrots. And don't worry about defrosting those ahead of time. They will be just perfect in this. By adding those frozen peas and carrots at the end, we're actually keeping them from getting too mushy. Okay, and then look at this. Look how great that skillet is. So that egg is all cooked. I'm just going to break it up with my spatula into little pieces and then pour it right into the rice. Last but definitely not least is one of the most flavorful chicken dishes you will ever have. These are our island style chicken bowls. They're so good. So good. So what we're gonna do is the first up is gonna make the sauce and we're gonna thicken it. It's kind of like a zesty, almost a little spicy, gingery, pineapple-y gravy that we're gonna make in a pan here. And by gravy, I just mean we're gonna thicken it a little bit because I want it to be a little thick. Then we'll add our already cooked chicken because we cook once approached this recipe, right? So we made all that chicken ahead of time. We're gonna use it in this dish, toss that together, and then we're gonna finish it off with this delicious pineapple and avocado salsa. Oh my gosh, I would just eat that salsa alone with chips, much less all this other yumminess. Put it over a big old bowl of white fluffy rice. And one of the reasons why I love this dish is because while I like to eat it all in a bowl, because I'm an adult and I like all my food mixed together, my children kind of sometimes like their food separate. And this is such an easy dish that lends itself so well to that. A little bit of sauce, some rice, some chicken, some pineapple, some avocado. Everyone's happy. Okay, let's make this island gravy. I want to call it gravy, but I don't want to freak you out because it's not like Thanksgiving gravy. It's like a thick, yummy, sweet, spicy sauce. So in a large skillet over medium-high heat, I'm going to start off with my coconut aminos. So this is the largest part of our sauce. Coconut aminos, it's kind of like a sweeter soy sauce. It's like a soy sauce that is made from coconut. And so I've got that in there. And to it, I'm going to add, let's see, what do we have next? I'm going to add our sesame oil. Yum already. Some sriracha, so it's a little spicy. If you are concerned about young, spice-fearing palates, you can skip that sriracha or just use a little less. This is garlic powder, but it's glued to this dish. I'm gonna go get fresh real quick. We've got more garlic powder. Now you're gonna know the real is I don't measure. When I'm at home, I just toss it in till it feels right. That's freshly ground ginger, by the way. Okay, and I'm gonna add some fresh lime juice. See, it's like a fun gravy. This is gravy's fun, cool cousin coming in to visit. And now what we're gonna do is I'm going to get really clever. We have our arrowroot, and arrowroot is a grain-free thickener. So if you don't want, you can use cornstarch if you'd like, but I like arrowroot for this one. I have pineapple juice, which if you remember, we're using pineapple for the salsa. Just like squeeze a little bit of it in a cup and get your pineapple juice. And I am going to, just like cornstarch is evil cousin's cornstarch. I'm just going to mix that pineapple juice with the arrowroot. Just like cornstarch, it will mix and dissolve in a cool liquid and it won't clump. But as soon as you add that cornstarch or arrowroot to a hot liquid, it'll kind of gum up and clump up. So I'm just going to mix it together with a little fork, scrape it around a little bit until it's all nice and dissolved. Now I'm going to pour this into the rest of our ingredients and let it simmer for a little bit. It'll get nice and thick. It's going to smell amazing, which you're not here, so you don't know that, but trust me, it already smells great. As soon as it starts to look like this, go ahead and turn the heat down low, but at this point, you're ready to add your chicken. Right on in here. This is cold shredded chicken out of the fridge because I cooked it the other day because I wanted to do future me a favor. And I'm just gonna toss it in this luscious island style gravy. The last thing we have to do is make this pineapple and avocado salsa, and it comes together so fast and easy. All I've got here is some freshly chopped pineapple, and you can make life easier on yourself and just go ahead and buy already chopped pineapple from the grocery store. I'm gonna add a whole avocado to this bowl, some red onion, some cilantro, some fresh lime juice is our liquid to hold it all together, and then some freshly chopped jalapeno peppers. Oh my goodness, it's so yummy. How about that? Isn't that so cool that you could make 3 totally different dinners, all with shredded chicken that you cooked earlier in the week, that Cook Once style? So we have our tacos, our fried rice, our island style bowls. My family's gonna be eating so good this week. If you found that helpful and if you want more recipes like that, that work together like that, be sure to check out my books, y'all. Cook Once, Eat All Week and Cook Once Dinner Fix. They're both fabulous. You can find them everywhere books are sold. And then if you want, we actually have a free resource for you, Fed and Fit. We send out every single Friday a meal plan for the week ahead that has ideas of what to make for dinner, a breakfast idea. But the thing that you might like the most is in every single one of those emails, we include a Cook Once tip. So we make those menus with stuff like this in mind, like buy a rotisserie chicken and then use it in these 2 dinners. So those tips are baked in, it's totally free, and you can sign up for that email via the link below.